So guys, it's your man, the Lestring. If you like, listing himself, and it's a chilly morning. I'm just from the gym. As you know, that's my lifestyle. I'm so much into exercising, and today I just thought of just saying my story. You know, um, I think it will be an inspiration because I'm somebody who is interested in inspiring and changing lives. So. I've been raised in an environment whereby the parents were very, very strict. I come from a ghetto family. You know, raised in a ghetto, so everything was just there for you to learn from. So coming from there, my parents were very, very strict. As in, there was a path, especially my dad. There was a path that you had to follow. I was raised in an environment whereby the positive, they never saw the positive, but the negative, they condemned it in the deepest way possible. And if you did something wrong, they told you on your face. So growing up in that environment, that everything that I did good, nobody saw it, but bad, it was just condemned and everything. It really affected me. And at some point I was just like normal, but to me I was not normal because I had very, very low esteem. And considering the fact that I've been on stage almost the whole of my life. I've been an altar boy, I've been a dancer, I've been a head boy, I've sung, I've been singing, So I acted like I had a strong self-confidence, but I was very, very weak. I was weak inside. As men, we don't talk about this shit. It affects you, but you shut up. You just keep it inside. But I was very weak. So in public, I used to pretend like I'm the best version of myself. But deep within, I knew I was empty. I knew I want something, but I didn't know what I wanted. I used to see people, happy with their family, people contented, people enjoying. But for me, I was like, this is not where I belong. I had a level of emptiness. And so because of that, I was always into seeking who I was. That was always my intention. I wanted to know what's my purpose here? Why am I here? Why was I raised in such an environment? And why am I feeling the emptiness? And so I had been studying, I'd been doing a lot of research about people like Tony Robbins. I've read John Rohn. I've read Abraham Hicks. I've read almost, I think I've read, if it's more than 100 books, and videos, I can't even count, I was just trying to find who I was because I knew, life is it's not about emptiness. Life is not about me just being angry and everything. And I remember I used to have ulcers, it was something that was really hitting me. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know who I was. Yes, I went to the university, but I was just empty, So going through all this path, I used to ask God every day, why am I here? Why am I feeling a level of emptiness? Why am I like, I don't know who I am, what's up? And something happened, I used to have fun and everything, but the emptiness was just persisting. So last year, that was during the corona pandemic, something really funny happened. I think there's a saying that says that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So I didn't know that that was the year that I was to find myself. So last year, something funny really happened, whereby all my sources of income were just they stopped, as in all of a sudden, all of them, and the money that I had, I used to overspend, I became so broke that I was just selling everything that I had. I was just selling, that person that you thought, you're going to be with, they went and everything. So I reached a level whereby everything in my life was just zero, from not paying rent for like 6 months. You understand, last year nobody was working, so not being able to pay rent for like 6 months, and everything, not having food to eat. I remember I used to even take salt, and this will sound weird, but I used to take salt and put it in a cup and add a little water and then drink and sleep with that. And it was just the worst year I can say for myself, because for like 6 months all this shit persisted. Like, you're trying everything, it's not working. Even the people that you thought you were friends, they're no longer there. Because they used to know you have money. Now you're saying you don't have even food. They were like, no, that's a lie. You're just kidding, as you always do. And so for 6 months, everything around me was just breaking. Everything broke. So I lost like 15 kgs, and that's when I realized that I'm not coming out of this, And so I went in a state of depression. So I started asking God, is this how we're supposed to end? And it's through that time that life started changing, because at that point I started, as you, when you go to YouTube, there's always the suggestion videos, or when you go to Facebook, there's always videos that come as suggestions. So I used to go on social media and I used to get this suggestion, so I used to get like Abraham Hicks. Sometimes I get people like Dr. Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Anthony Robbins, and I used to wonder, why am I being directed to these things? But I want food, I want money. So at some point, I said, let me just watch them. And that's when I started remembering I used to watch these things. And these people were emphasizing on something that it's not about what you're in, it's about the state of mindset that you're in. So that's when I realized that God was trying to tell me that this is a wake-up call. Every shit that's happening in your life is because of your mindset. So starting from now, you have to start seeing yourself differently. And at some point, it was not working, because these people were telling me that, write a goal, something that you want, and try and visualize it, imagine it, feel it, and it will happen. And I used to do that for like months. See, no shit, man. I'm like, what's not happening? Why is these things that these people are saying not happening? But when you go to people's reviews, you read, I manifested a car, I manifested the love of my life, or I manifested a house and everything. I'm like, I can't even manifest food. What's happening? And it's from that, the downfall was just persisting. So from that point, I started practicing things to do with meditation. A teacher like Abraham Hicks was emphasizing on gratitude. So I started saying, okay, I think that for me, meditation was not working, because I used to spend like 2 minutes and I'm like, I need to eat. But when she said about gratitude, I started emphasizing gratitude. So I remember I used to write down everything that I was grateful for. For example, I haven't paid rent for 6 months, but they have not chased me, and they still listen to me. So that's okay. Things like I can still go to the gym and train. Okay, that's nice. Okay, small things I used to write down. I'm still healthy. All these things, I used to write them down. And again, there was something that Joe Dispenza was trying to emphasize, that's Dr. Joe Dispenza, that you have to change the story, you have to change the perception of everything in your life. So I started changing the perception, and it's from that things started happening. Those doors that were closed, started opening. Clients, for example, that I used to work for, who just disappeared anyhow, started coming back, and I'm like, oh, the shit is working. So I started putting more emphasis on them, so writing everything that I wanted and then being grateful for the thing that were happening. So before I knew it, I was able to start paying my rent, reducing the debts and everything. So as I was continuing going through this enlightenment, Abraham Hicks, most of her videos, she was emphasizing on you writing down what you want and visualizing as if that thing has already happened. So what I did is I took a book. I have a book I won't show you right now because it's just a rough copy. So she emphasized that you take a book and you write everything that you want, the way you want your life to be, And at some point she said that not everything is going to happen the way you want, It all depends your trust or your belief, you knowing of that thing, trust. The Bible talks about that faith. So she said, write everything that you want down, and every day when you wake up, just imagine you being in that state. Just imagine how you feel if you've paid all your debts, you're living in the house that you've always wanted, you're having a reliable source of income, you have a good health. So I wrote all of them down, and I remember each and every time I used to just try to imagine. Okay, it was hard because shit was happening around, but I had to continue visualizing and imagining. And as I was feeling, I remember writing everything down. And it didn't took some months, some took weeks and everything. But I can guarantee you that almost everything that I wrote down, came true. Like the house that I'm living in right now, that was just something that I wrote down. This camera I'm recording on, that's something that I wrote down. The body that I have, I remember I was around 80 kg. I said I want to be around 90. Right now I'm around 89.5. I even write down the measurement of how my body wants to look like. For example, I used to have a waist of around 36. I said I want a waist of 29. So I said from 36 to 29. And right now I have 29, my waist is 29. I said this is how I want my arms to look. I wrote everything down to be specific. These are the type of shoes I want to wear. This is even the shoe rack. I wrote everything down, and I said this is the house. But then the funny thing is everything that I wrote down, and this is not a lie, came as I wrote them down. There were some which took longer time, but everything happened. For example, the house, I remember coming to this house, and checking it for like 3 months and saying, is that house taken? They're like, no. Is that house taken? They're like, no. So the time that I was coming to pay, they're like, no, it was already taken. So I went back to the house, and I told, okay, divine, for me, I don't want to be more religious oriented. I want to be in the spiritual arena whereby I believe there's a God. And I believe there's a divine within me. So I started talking to my divine, and I said, I want that house so badly, and I've written it down. So that's the house that I wanted. But if I can't have it, then it's okay. I'm grateful. Everything around me is just working out. So I left that thing, and I remember like 2 days after I did that, I got a call from that caretaker because he had my number after those long days of me coming and requesting about the house. So he called and he said, Guy, the guy who was supposed to enter is no longer coming. He has decided to choose another floor, so you can just come and have your house. And I was like, this thing is just working. So what I'm trying to say is the reason why I brought up all these stories, because I want to show you that everything works if you decide to work it. The moment you just come into realization that you have the power to create who you are, to create your own brand. Like right now I'm in a stage, I'm not perfect. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not perfect at all. I have mistakes that I do. But one thing that I'm very certain 100% is that I create my own reality. Everything that happens around me, I'm the one who's creating them. Everything. It doesn't matter if it's a jam. It doesn't matter if somebody has step on my foot. It doesn't matter what's happening. Everything around me, I'm the one who creates that. This is something that took me years to believe. But coming from a religious background, even the Bible is saying that you have to believe in the unseen. I never used to understand that because they never used to explain it deeply. But coming and getting to meet these great teachers and authors and explaining this point that everything is just energy. Everything is just energy, and there is power in energy. And you can't destroy energy. You can only transform it. So if it's negative energy, you can destroy that negativity, but you can transform it into positivity. So everything that you go through in your life, you have the decision to change it or not to change it. Right now, I'm in the best state of my life, I will say. I'm in the best. I'm just like a baby because everything is just working out the way I want. I don't have that thing that's like pulling me back. Everything is just working out as perfect as it's supposed to be. And so, as I wind up, I want to tell you this, that there is something known as the law of attraction. And this, nobody will tell you this, but it works. The moment you put your mind into negative things, complain about your work, complain about your family, complain about all these things, you're attracting more of that. They say what you resist persist. But the moment you change that energy, change that story, and start to focusing on what good is working out in your life. I'll give you an example. Let's say, for example, you're starting out a business, starting out a relationship. You've just gotten promoted. How do you maintain that level of success and not come down? Because there's somebody who said something very interesting, that if you take the wealth of the world and divide it equally and give it within some few months and years, the man will return back to the people that had it before. Why? Because it's about the mindset. So if you want to maintain your business growing, you want to maintain that relationship, you want to maintain that promotion and everything, you have to be in a position to be at par with that thing. What do I mean? As in, I can't say I want promotion and yet I'm behaving like somebody wants to be demoted. I have to behave as if I'm promoted, and it's from that I attract that thing in my life. I never used to believe this thing, but right now I believe it. And that's the reason why I said, since I know the truth, let me just share it with you guys. And so it's upon you. I'm not forcing anybody to believe this. Nobody forced me. But I was hit to the rock bottom that I had to it was the only option that I had. But I believed it, and it has just impacted my life. And there's some things I can't tell you. I'll tell you as we proceed, but this thing works. You have to be in alignment with that thing that you want. Stop complaining about here. Just look in front there. Focus there. It's hard, but just focus there. See it as if you're there. As if it has already happened. Feel it, enjoy it. And I can guarantee you, it will happen without you knowing. So I'll be giving you more techniques on how to do this. So guys, keep it locked, I'm your boy, I'm your man, the LESTING. And as our saying goes, if it ain't fun, if it doesn't make you happy, don't do it, because you don't want to attract shit in your life. So cheers.